Shalom. I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone. Well, peace and blessings to the sincere Akim who are doing this work throughout the four corners of the earth, doing this thing in truth and sincerity. I say Shalom. And this video here is inspired by this. This is an actual screenshot. So, and it's from a guy, Darius M. He's a quote-unquote MGTOW, you can consider him to be, or just a man who gives advice about women. Pretty simple put. He brings it raw, and he's pretty consistent with it. But this is an article, or this is a comment I left. This is a comment I left on his channel, and it said, I love how the truth is being revealed. These demons get worse over time, and he's pretty much exposed. He exposes the female nature and how women actually are, which is a beautiful thing, because a lot of so-called black men, and all the tribes really, but mainly the so-called black men, is they're not up on game. They're game goofy as far as these women. And that's a comment I left, and there was comments on there, likes and comments, and I do it here and there periodically, because it's a love-hate. It's actually a love-hate thing with the internet, and how women, being that they've been drawn to social media and attached that as their life, basically, they're revealing themselves of who they actually are. And it's a love-hate thing, because I hate seeing it sometimes, but I love that my view on them is correct, or the view how they actually are is correct. And these demons do get worse over time, because the video was basically about this. She was talking about just like looks in men, and does looks matter, and if you're ugly, she probably not gonna talk to you, and all this shit. We know how that goes. So there's also another guy's channel I just started watching. He like interviews women and he does pranks and shit too, but these bitches out here, they bring it out, the truth of how they really are. He asks them the not it's complicated, not that channel, it's another one. But anyways, he brings it out about him. Now, these women, they don't know that they're in a world of hate, world of hurt, and I wanted to put that on wax, and I'm gonna get the scriptures for it, because when you really look at them, they don't have it. They don't have it at all. But when you see them, they portray themselves as ladies. They want to be taken, they want to be treated as a lady and things of that nature. But they come across as ladies, but they're actually whores. So you have to be on top of your game dealing with them. Now let me get the scripture for it. So I can figure this call. I'm gonna start off with wrote these down because I wanted to remember them. Yeah, 1 Timothy, or is it 2 Timothy? 1 Timothy. 1 First Timothy 5 and 6. For some reason, these chapters don't want to pop up. That's okay. That's Satan. Let's close it out and then go back into it. Okay. There we go. It's First Timothy 5 and 6. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. So they don't, men, we take pleasure in certain hobbies that we have, whether it be video games, working out, things of that nature. These typical modern women, they don't do that. Their video game, their hobby is playing around with men, playing around with their emotions, their feelings, spitting you out, going to the next guy. And they, like I said, they won't tell you this. They don't come across like that. But that's what their real nature is. That's what they do. And this won't be long. It's just here and there. You got to get on these women's so-called women. Let's get Micah. Just get Micah 7 and 10. Okay. Says, then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. That's talking about in the day of Jacob's trouble. That's talking about in that day. We always refer to that day. And that day is getting closer and closer as we speak. And that enemy is talking about the so-called black woman, the so-called Native American woman, the so-called Latino woman. They have become our enemy on this side due to taking on the ideology of feminism, taking on different thought processes, social media, the trauma that they've been through, because everybody goes through something, but what these women do, they put everything they've been through on the back burner. They don't deal with it. So guess what? They become narcissists. And a narcissist is just someone who lacks empathy on a high level. Because you have different, you may have sociopaths, which they could very well be that as well, on certain levels. But most of them are blown out, full-blown narcissists. And it's funny because they'll tell you, like, okay, my man that I'm dealing with, that I'm not dealing with no longer, he was a narcissist. So what they doing is they turning it on the men, and it's deep. I find that, interesting, because what they actually are, they're projecting on others. So they're fucked up in the head. And it's really looking like majority of them going to just be destroyed out here. And I don't feel no types of way. Neither does the men of the Lord, other men of the Lord, feel any type of way, because these videos are here to correct your behavior. Okay? So this is Proverbs 31:10. It says, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. And that's a rhetorical question. Who can find a virtuous woman? Who can find a woman with some virtue to her? Meaning what? A virgin? That's out the window pretty much. Okay, a woman who has discretion, who's quiet, feminine, all these things that men like, they don't have those traits anymore. They don't have those personality traits anymore. So that's even because this was written 2,000 plus years ago, just for this day, just for 2022, and moving forward, And then they like to say who hurt you and all these, shame you and all this shit, which they know they've hurt somebody. So they want to know who else hurt you. You know, this is just sick out here, man. You know, this chapter's going in on the woman, but I'm gonna jump to verse 15. Yeah, I'm gonna start at 13, and I'll just read from 13. It says, "For Adam was first formed, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression." So that's pretty straightforward. The woman was the initiator of sin, and through her we all die, like the scriptures say. I believe in this apocrypha. Verse 15 says, "Not withholding, notwithstanding, Slakia, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith, in charity, in holiness, and sobriety." So, and that is pertaining to, um, those women who are down with the men of the Lord, who are playing their part as being joined unto a man of the Lord. So when a woman is playing her role in the right way, she's good. She can be saved through that man. You know what I'm saying? But you even have some women who are supposed to be our women, you know, other brothers' women. They're giving hell to the men. Like, they don't understand how severe this thing is. So that knowing that they're gonna ultimately be destroyed, and you're seeing the judgment right now take place on these women. There's men who have a spirit on them, or a sex demon, or whatever you want to call it, on them to attack these women. You know, they make a woman. You know, it's videos, women getting chased home and at their front door. You know, guys following them, groping them, raping them. These things is happening on a high level, and guess what? There's nobody. Usually nowadays, there is no, like, I believe Matthew says, "The love of many shall wax cold." So there's nobody there to help them, and if they are, they just sit there and watch. You know, there's people who just watch it and they record, so they don't have any help. And I'm gonna read this because, like I said, it's gonna get bad, and it's bad now, but it's gonna get even worse. So let me read Ezekiel. Let me read this in Ezekiel and start at 4. It's talking about spiritual power, how to during Jacob's trouble. It says, Ezekiel 9:4, "And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark on the foreheads of the men, a sigh and a cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof." That's talking about us marking these people with the truth. Verse 5 says, "And to others he said, In my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have ye pity." And that's for spiritual power, because the Lord's going to set that on his men. Yahushua is going to give that to his men, and he's going to have us do these tasks that ain't going to be good for them. So this is verse 6. It says, "Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children." So both women and children. It's no discrimination. It's going to have to happen for those who refuse to repent. So it says, "And women," right? "But come not near, any man upon whom is the mark." So those without the mark, or we perceive through the Spirit, who needs to get their judgment, they're going to get it. It says, "And begin at my sanctuary. Then they begin at the ancient men which were before the house. So there you have it. Okay, so it would behoove even those women who know that they're Israelites, that to, shy away from commenting on YouTube, on all that stuff, that weirdo stuff. Get off that and just be subjective to your husband. And if you don't have one, you know what you gotta do. Try to obtain one. So and they don't really know what's going on. Through the spirit. These modern women, they don't have not a clue. But hey, it is what it is. Lord willing, this is edifying. I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone. Say shalom.